When violence broke out in Bengaluru.
This is inside and outside the DJ Ali police station.
Even before the communal flames set in the northeast part of the city could be doused, the police pointed fingers at SDPI, or Social Democratic Party of India. Soon the FIRs were filed against a little-known political party, and the call for its ban is getting louder. The party has been quick to deny its role, but now finds itself in the eye of a political storm. SDPI is the political wing of Popular Front of India, an organization which has been widely reported as a militant and Islamic fundamentalist organization. The PFI was formed in 2006 when Karnataka Forum for Dignity from the state, National Development Front from Kerala and Manita Neeti Pasarai from Tamil Nadu decided to work together. The PFI grabbed the national headlines in 2010 in the case of chopping of hands of a professor in Kerala when many of its alleged members were implicated in the case. However, the PFI has continued to deny its involvement in the case.
पॉपुलर फ्रंट के खिलाफ सरासर झूठी बातें फैला रही है.
Wherever a kind of a Muslim mob comes up and this kind of violence takes place, you understand that first names which comes up is SDPI and PFI. There are two reasons that they are militant and aggressive. None other are. So it has become easy for right wing as well as police to identify them, but not to produce an evidence.
Paniraj lives in Udupi and has witnessed the phenomenal growth of PFI and SDPI in the coastal regions firsthand as the state convener of Komu Sabharda Vedike.
A span of 1.5 or 2 years, they grew tremendously. I mean, every other fraternal organization, Muslim fraternal organization particularly, was stunned by their growth. Most of the youth, especially youth, between say around 16 to 24 or say 30, within 30. So we can see a large number of people gathering around PFI. They had a very meteoric development. I mean, their strength increased so much that I could see just by this transform from KFT to PFI, within 1 year they could hold a demonstration of around 1,000 people at their call in Udupi. There's a rift within the Muslim community between PFI and other larger community. So they look at the PFI as something, say, mischief-mongering organization and disturbing the peace within the community and making them vulnerable.
When I tried to talk to other Muslim organizations working in Udupi, Dakshina Kannada, none were ready to go on the record. One person specifically mentioned how if they speak against SDPI, they might be targeted and branded as an enemy of the party and the community.
Before establishing of SDPI, Muslim community never come to the street to talk against Hindutva, BJP, RSS, etc. So already some traditional Muslim leaders, they started trembling. Why? Because till then they are the hegemonic force in Muslim community. So now, as a youth, we assembled, we organized our youth, and we are coming out with the Muslim issues. So automatically, because of the jealousy, some section of Muslim leaders and traditional, that old age Muslim leaders started propagating that we are communal, this thing is there. That automatically, because of that jealousy.
I mean, they have fought a bitter battle within the Muslim community. So they want to gain a complete control over Muslim community in the coast. So they want to have a de facto authoritarian community and call the shots. Like Hindutva organizations who want to represent Hindus. So when we say that you don't represent us, but they want to show us that I represent you because I represent most of the people and especially represent subalterns. And that is the same thing what you can see about PFI. They don't represent Muslims, but they represent Muslim youth and subaltern Muslim youth and the pent-up anger of Muslim youth.
Today, SDPI can be seen slowly gaining foothold in the local governments across Karnataka, especially in areas where Muslims make up a sizable chunk of votes. This has set alarm bells off in Congress, which has been the go-to party for Muslims, though that might be changing in recent years.
See, 3 or 4 parties cannot play a game together, right? We have to defeat one by one, and so we are only the one who are capable of taking RSS and BJP. So they say that first we'll eliminate Congress. That's a semi-final. Then we'll go to final with BJP. They want an entry into. So they want to show to the Muslim community that they can represent them politically, which is not possible in Karnataka.
In recent years, coastal Karnataka has become a hotbed of communal clashes. Parallelly, it has also become a BJP fortress. With no party to politically represent the community's fears and aspirations, there is a void which is being utilized by the SDPI to its gain.
I mean, that vacuum, political vacuum, or a representational vacuum, political representation on behalf of a community which was subjected to a rigorous, heinous communal violence. Anyone can go and represent them and be popular among. None went them, and only Popular Front went them.
We have two ways. One is agitational politics, the other one is electoral politics. We will contest every election. From Panchayat election to Parliament election, we will contest. Our aim is to power to people.
Even though it claims to represent OBCs, Dalits and Adivasis, it has been identified primarily with the Muslim community, that too only with the younger lot. Unless it can bring all these different groups together, its growth seems to be limited.